All right, I'm on hole number 10 of the touchdown tournament. I'm in the weekend round of the Ricky division, and I'm just filming 9 holes straight. This is the only my upper level account, my main Ricky account I didn't make the weekend round. I've had a bunch of stuff I've been working on this week and been focused on other things. Didn't just haven't been focused on it. You have to be focused when you're playing these tournaments because there's some of these holes that you just have to get it done on. And the par fours are absolute musts. And this is the first time that believe it or not, I put together the same. I got all the par fours in my 77 account, and I shot a minus 13. That's how bad the round was. I birdied 9 and 3. I was just a total. I mean, I just couldn't put anything. But having a clean round where I put everything together with the minus 15 is refreshing. So this is the minimum score, and I did not get any pickups. I gave myself looks on every single hole, but I just couldn't get it in the cup. So on the back, I've got my work cut out for me. I'm 100% sure that if I want to have any shot at a win, I'd have to shoot an 18 on the back, and if I want to have any shot at a banner, I have to shoot at least a minus 16, a minus 17. Probably have to get the 32. So it'll have to be a 17. If I want any shot at a win, it's going to have to be an 18. So I've got a lot of work cut out for me. So hole number 10. We're back on hole number 1. Hey. Yes. Unplug my power cord. Get my stylus to work. I thought maybe my stylus wasn't working, so I put a new tip on my stylus. So we'll see if that helps. All right, hole number 1. I'm taking a rock. A rock and a kingmaker. And this shot used to not be possible. Even when the rock was at level 8, it wasn't possible. But when they buffed the clubs right before the club card trading came out, they gave the rock 5 extra yards or 10 extra yards, and that changed the deal. The rock became an extra mile with tons of accuracy. All right, that's what I need for that hole. Rock and a kingmaker. Not using a lot of Titans this tournament. Usually these tournaments are sponsored by Titan. The king of balls. You can use a Titan for this. You can. The whole deal is you want to cut the wind down. All right, here we go. My opponent's got an Apocalypse 5. Awesome club. In this account and in this account, I'm not far away from an APOC 5, I don't think. I think I'm on my way. In my 77 account, I just actually got an Apocalypse over the summer. Been playing it for 2 years and finally got an Apocalypse. And lots and lots of chest open in Tour 7 and finally got an Apocalypse. So it sat there unused until the club card trading came out, and I've been able to get it to level 4 pretty quick. It's one of the epics that every time it comes up in the store, it doesn't matter what else is in there, I'm dumping cards into it to try and get it up. It's going to end up in the rough. That is no bueno. No good. Camera down, Max. Hey, going right at it. It's 1.0 per ring. It's a 2-ring pull. Trying to hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. See if we can get it in the cup. Close. Close. 277. All right. That was not the hole-in-one I was looking for, but I gave it a college try. See if my opponent can get in from the rough. If they can hit this perfect, this should go in. Get in the hole. Good job. Nice shot. Crowd goes wild. Woo! Good job. That's awesome. When you're in you know how it is. When you're in a tournament and you have to scramble and you make one of those, it really changes your attitude. Eagle. All right, we came here to get an eagle. We got an eagle. I gave myself a look at hole-in-one. I will forfeit. Do not want to use up one of my hole-in-ones, and especially when you're playing in the tournament. All right, that was hole number 10. Hole number 11. Here we go. Touchdown tournament, weekend round. Hole number 11. Now let's see if we can get this done this time. I'm going to do exactly what I did the first time I came through here. And I'm going to bring a sniper and a 0 power ball. I'm going to bring a Marlin, because that's the only, not a nav, a Marlin. So that's the only 0 power low wind ball that I have. All right, I've got it down at 1.3 per ring with a 10% adjustment, or I could do conversely, I could do 1 per ring with a minus 15. .2 wind. They've got a Marlin. 10% would be 3.2. Half of that is 1.6. It's 4.8. Maybe 2.8, 2.7. Maybe a 2.7 wind. Let's see what wind we end up with. See if my opponent can get it in the cup. Oh, that is a heartbreaker. If that would have been right on line, it might have fallen, crested it. So 3.0, 10, that'd be 4.5, that'd be 2.6, 2.5 wind. So 2.5 wind. I'm going to do a max ring adjustment. Hitting it perfect. Catching it perfect, and see if I can get that in the cup. Come on, come on. Is that the graphic? Come on. Oh, you rat bastard. Oh. That was a little bit of an overpull. Probably should have taken out 20% of the wind. Too late now. I'm going to change my notes, though, just so if I look at this in the future, it's minus 20%. I'm going to start working these numbers on these holes where we're in these odd numbers. We're in mid, or we're doing some adjustment. It's 1.3 or it's 1.4 per ring, and then we're doing plus 20%. We're doing all this stuff, and I'm gonna just work it out so that it's when we get to that hole, it's everything's at the 1 per ring, and then we're going to, because we're having to do some math. And so if we're going to have to do one problem, let's just do one problem, and then we don't have any after that. After we finish that equation, then we're at 1 per ring, and we just move 3.6 rings. Because when you're playing a one-on-one, I tend to, when I'm playing one-on-one, just use, you're typically in your max number. Not sure what that was. This has got to be a shootout. See if it gives me a distance. 1.83. We are in a shootout. I looked up and we were on a par 3, and I'm like, I've got the same stuff for this hole that I have for the other hole, and am I really in the shootout? But yes, I've done that once, and I've seen Tommy do that once, where I thought I was in a shootout hole, and I just went ahead and forfeited, and I was actually on the hole. Ruined that tournament, and it was in a weekend round. All right, that was hole 11. Hole 12. Let's see what hole 12 is. All right, I have an Albie shot here. I'm just going to go out. I know exactly what this hole is. I'm just going to go out and play it like I'm in one-on-one. I should just take my bag and just play it with a Marlin. Just trying to think here on my... I brought a sniper last time. I really want to just play it with a Guardian. I play this hole all the time with a Guardian, and I have a lot of success with the Guardian on it. I'm going to bring a Kingmaker. Gets me deeper down in the hole. All right, here we go. Got no special wind adjustments that I'm doing here, but I have been off the cup just a little. I've been off the cup to the left. I think the wind's blowing that direction, so it's pushing me off. So I'm going to do a little bit of a wind adjustment, or I'm going to start off on the right-hand side of the cup. And I think I've been starting off on the right-hand side of the cup, and I'm still been off a little to the left. But I'm not sure I've been hitting it in here perfect. But if I remember correctly, I have hit it in this hole a couple times perfect, and I've been off to the left. So I'm going to do a little bit of a wind adjustment here on the second shot. I'm going to play it a little bit by feel. I'm going to play it like I'm in one-on-one. I brought the same exact stuff other than the Kingmaker. I brought the same stuff. I play it in one-on-one. I want to make sure my blue ring is firmly up on the flat area. Taking out the wind, 2-2. Okay, there's max curl. I'm going to the outside of the ring. It hit great on the inside. That'll put me closer to the shadows than it will the center. So when we're cruising down here, we'll see the shadows in the picture, not the sand. I would prefer to be on the perfect shot. That area right there, you got a great to the left or the right, and that's pretty much exactly where I've been ending up all week. It's right in that spot. There is some room forward that you can get, and the farther forward you can get, the more you can get engage this, especially if you wanted to do the rough bump. Because what it does, it gets you deeper in the hole. When you come up, you'll probably end up putting on left-hand side spin. So that way you give yourself a better look at the hole, but it's a safer spot in the rough. Going right at it, hit it perfect. See if they can get in the hole. See if they can do what I've been unable to do all week. I think I did get an Albie on this in my 77 account in the opening round on hole number 3. I'm going to go right at it. It's 2.1, it's 1.2 per ring, so there's 2.4. I'm going to come off of that just a little. All right, I need to hit this perfect. And I hit it great to the left. Damn it! Oh! Great to the left. And the ball responded like I wanted it to. It came through there, and I would have had a great look at that. The ball here with max backspin on this green does not do this. It doesn't have a big suck back effect like a lot of greens. And it wants to roll forward before it engages, and then it'll come back a little. It's all about hitting those shots coming into the cup perfect. If you don't hit those, it doesn't matter how well you set those shots up. My friend Scooby says the whole deal, because he doesn't use the wind ring method. He uses it generally, but I mean, he uses the rings to kind of give him some reference, but he's not into the wind ring method. And he's like, yeah, if I use the wind ring method and I learned it, then every time I know if I hit a great to the left or the right that it's not going to go in the cup. He goes, I can hit it. And he goes, sometimes a great to the left or the right goes in the cup. Unfortunately, if you do good wind adjustments, but you got to hit those perfect. It doesn't matter unless you hit it perfect. Maybe I should count how many times in a week I hit great to the left or the right or perfect, and then whichever one I'm doing the most, I should set all my shots up for that. All right, that was hole 12. Hole 13. Here we roll. Hole number 13. I think this is a test. It is a test. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. All right, here we go. Taking an extra mile and a power 5 ball. And there are 2 shots in this that require a perfect. And this is one of them. Got to hit the drive on this perfect. This is the second most important shot in the game to hit perfect right here. And there's really only 3 that are required to hit a 32. That's the deal. 2, a little less than 2. I'm going to leave 2 wind in, so I'm only going to take 1 wind out, which is about a half a ring. I'm going to put on max curl. And hit it great on the inside, great to the right. Clip. Yes. All right. That's what I was looking for. And the reason that I hit that great to the right, the reason that I only took out 1 wind was that I found when I was setting it up so that I was 2 rings off, I couldn't get a read at where the topspin was. And because it put it out so that it was on this tree and I couldn't get a read out here. So from that spot right there, I got a true read on where the topspin was going to come out. And then I let the wind push it forward a little bit more and push it out to the fairway. And by leaving that 2 wind in, it gave me 2 rings of separation. And that means if I hit a great to the right, I will hit the fairway and not the rough. Because if you end up hitting great to the right and don't leave yourself enough room, you will end up in that drink. And that was what was happening to me earlier in the week. And I went back and watched the video to see like what could I do to make this shot better. And that right there of letting the wind do the work instead of me having to struggle against it. It's going to be hard in my low level account because I only have an extra mile 6 and it doesn't have very much curl. Yeah, I'm getting a little laggy here. Hitting it perfect. It's getting a little laggy. That's why I reset it and was hoping the lag would go away. It did. Woo! I was afraid I was going to have to make that with the lag going on, and it's so easy to catch a bad deal on lag. See if my opponent can get in from there. You can definitely get in there with a Nirvana and use all of that topspin. And because it's appearing and disappearing like that, if you don't hit it perfect, it's going to end up, nope. No, you better take all that off and you better get close. I like to hit my Nirvana like that, but in this situation on this green with all those moguls, it's better to do the hop because then you can try and get your bounces between the moguls. All right, that was the test for make sure at the beginning of the term here, got one more test on this round, but I've got to pick some shots up and I've got to start hitting perfect into the cup. I'm putting myself in the right spot. I'm just not hitting perfect, and you can't expect it to go in the cup if you're doing good wind adjustments and you don't hit perfect. All right, that was 13. Here's 14. Hole number 14. Da 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 da. All right, I do like my chances of getting a hole-in-one here, and if I can hit this perfect, I think it's in the cup. Let's see here. I'm going to need Guardian. Do I have a Guardian in any bag? I do. And I'm going to need a Kingmaker. Open up a chest. Get it rolling. Get some common cards rolling. It only took me this many holes to finally fill all my chests. All right, here we go. Need to get a hole-in-one. And of all of the holes that we're picking shots up on, this is the hole that I'm least expecting to pick up a shot. And because of that, this is the most important hole to pick up a shot because that means the other ones are higher percentage. Like, you know, you've got a better shot on those. So it's picking up one of these unexpected holes. My teammate Dez got got an eagle, or excuse me, got the hole-in-one on hole number 1 of the tournament. That's like a totally unexpected hole. I mean, like we're shooting for it, but to get it is like, you know, it's still not the norm. And so to pick that up on the very first hole, like that you know, that's so awesome to get a shot that is the lowest percentage shot out there to pick that shot up. I do believe that this par 3 hole-in-one is lower percentage than getting the hole-in-one on hole number 1. They're close. If you come at it from the left-hand side and you go over there and you skirt up against that sand so that your second bounce is on the fringe, you can work the ball right to the cup. But you do not want to hit that ball great to the right. And they're going to roll past. And they may get caught up in the hill and roll, keep rolling. That might not be too bad. Okay, I want to get my Guardian. And I'm at max backspin. And however much side spin I can eke on. And I want to put my third bounce right at the cup. Then I'm going to bring it back to that cut right there. And then it's 1.2 per ring. So there's 3.6. I'm going to hit it straight forward. Hit it great to the right. Oh, that's the same spot I hit it last time, and it'll do the same thing. It's right up there and comes right back around right on the right-hand side. I'm not sure if the perfect would be right or if I need to do like a 10% because I haven't hit. I've only taken that shot. I've been trying to dial that shot in because it was, if you aimed right at the cup where the third bounce was right in the cup, it was rolling out and it was ending up long. And so by pulling it back and then making my wind adjustment, it's right there at it. But I haven't caught a perfect there to know whether or not I need to be adding on some wind or if that line that I'm pulling it back to is on track. But it looks like it's dead on track. But I'm definitely going to play that hole that way because that does give you a better shot at getting a hole in one. And I like using that island over there on the right-hand side because it's very, I mean, it's almost impossible not to get a birdie on that hole. All right, that was hole 14. That was not the hole in one I wanted. That was the birdie I went to go get. All right, hole 15 of the touchdown tournament. All right, let's get that. This literally is my absolute best shot in this entire thing to pick up a shot. And I just need to get out there and hit. And once again, it boils down to I have not hit a perfect shot coming into the cup. I think I did in practice several times. I don't know that I've hit a perfect coming into this cup the entire tournament. This is a 2 wind. That's a 1 wind. So I'm going to take the 2 wind. I'm going to take my extra mile and I horn it. And that is it. I'm leaving every other club in the clubhouse and I'm just taking my extra mile and my hornet. That's it. I'm not leaving this hole without an Albie, even if I have to fudge my scorecard. I'm not sure how I do that. I was at a golf course one time and I was shooting for handicap and I told my caddy, I said, hey, you're like, we were trying to work out the handicap for that course and he's like, man, you don't need to worry about that stuff. I have an eraser. Like, no, I want to worry about that stuff, man. That way I can count this round. It doesn't do any good to go out there and not count all your strokes because you don't really have a true understanding of where you're at. And you'll be mismatched. So you'll go, hey, yeah, I'm like a better golfer than I am. So that means when you're playing in tournaments, you'll be playing against better golfers than you are. So you want to be honest about it. My opponent's using the the taxi ball. I found that it's better when you're coming out here to come to the right and put left-hand curl on it so that you can stay out of that. But if you catch it right, that'll work. That'll work. That's all right. It's good to go. I found it's just better to go from the right to the left. That way you can take the sand completely out of play. So instead of coming out there and putting right hand curl and trying to catch it 4 miles per hour, that's 2 rings. I'm going to put the power back in it. I'm going to put just a little bit of overpower and some left hand curl. Hitting it perfect. The goal here is not to get too much forward movement so that I bleed off into the rough. It should put me around 400. 397, so that's going to put me at mid club, 1.9 per ring. My opponent's got a power 4. 2 wind. I've got a 2 wind. So we're coming at it with the same deal. It's 1.9 per ring at this range, so that's a little over 2 rings. 1.9, that's 3, 2. We moved it almost 3 rings. See if they catch it perfect. They caught it perfect. Let's see if they're on it or if they miss it to the left. That was a bad bounce. Oh, that was unlucky. That bounce was unlucky, but I just need to catch it perfect. Okay, there's minimum club. There's max. Maybe mid. We're up towards the max. It's probably in the 1.5 per ring range. $1.5 per ring. That's a perfect 3-ring pull. I just need to hit this perfect. And I hit it great to the left. Every single time I get to this hole, and watch how close that is. Perfect is right at it. And I've missed it great to the left, I think, every single time this week. I can't hit perfect to save my life this week. That's the kind of week that I've been having. Just, I didn't get my main account even qualified for the weekend round. I've just been totally out of it. Focused on other stuff. The deal is the last week, in between this tournament and the last tournament, I put out a bunch of content, and I was talking about the grid and using the program, using one of the apps, and they will definitely help you. And I will tell you right now that the grid all by itself, like if you're not using anything at all right now and you want to start using something, the grid is where to start. And so having just the curl line grid down at the bottom. And I was definitely not a fan of the ones where it's just a straight line. You really want a line down on the bottom that's got some ticks on it. They don't have to be big, but just something so that you can measure, your curl. Hole number 16. All right, we're on a test. We're on the duck hole. I'm going to bring a berserker. And this all boils down to I just got to hit it perfect. Extra mile and a berserker. All things being even, those are the only 2 things I need. But having a grid down there with little ticks on it for your curl is huge. And having a straight center line that comes up that extends through the perfect shot so that you have a center vertical line. And I had my grid line, my curl line down at the bottom. It was dead center in the ball when it's pulled where you're engaging it, so you could really look at your curl. And it was also, that line was very close to the take shot, so I'm used to going down to the take shot to work out wind, and so I had a line that was there. So getting used to that, and then that center line was very nice, and having marks up there where the wind arrow is, so that you could try and get facing due north, was very helpful. And the tick marks that I put up there for the wind were not only very helpful to set me up so that I was facing due north, but they were very helpful because if I felt like I was constantly off to the left or the right, I could catch the wind at the 11:59 or 12:01 very easily. In the sand. Well, they still got a shot from there, but I want to just hit. This is the most important shot in the game to hit perfect. Okay, there's no other shot that's as important to hit perfect as this shot right here. 3.5. Maybe right there at that transitional line. It's 4.0. That's 4.2. That's a 5% pull. And I'm going to put just a little teeny bit of overpower and a little teeny bit of right hand curl. Hitting it perfect. See if I caught that fairway with that overpower. And if I can clear this fairway, it'll roll up on the green. All right. Passed all my tests in the weekend round. Haven't picked anything up so far, but I've at least been able to shoot the damn minimum score. At least I'm on track for the minimum score. I've got two holes, and I've got a hole-in-one shot, and I have hit 2 hole-in-ones on that this week. And I've had problems with hole number 9, but I finally feel like I'm on track on hole number 9, just laying it up out there and getting up there. I gave myself a really good shot last time, and if I brought my Guardian, I would have had a serious shot at the rough bump. I had a great shot with my sniper. I just couldn't work all the wind out. I was too close to my red line. Isn't it perfect? In the hole. All right. That is what I've been looking for all week, is just a nice, clean, getting all the par 4s in a whole round on the front and on the back. Jeez. What a deal. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. That was hole 16. Hole 17. I've got 2 holes here, and I need to pick something up. I mean, I have no idea what's going on up at the top. I have no idea, but I know that a minus 30 is only going to just get me up the scale. I doubt that a minus 30 will even get me a top 10. So I've got to shoot better than minus 30 to get anywhere even close into the top 5. So I need to pick up both of these holes, and I've got this one in me. I'm just looking at my numbers here. All right, I know what I'm doing. I'm taking a sniper and a navigator. I'm taking a nav because that's the only power 1 low wind. That's the low wind power 1 ball. Sniper. That's all I need. I'll open up a chest. Save myself a gem. Getting some commons. Off we roll. Yeah, if you have a bank of cards, club cards, and you've been playing for a while and you've got a lot of commons, you've got all your commons maxed out, you've got that bank of cards, it's really important that you work every day to replenish that. So depending on if you're playing up at like Tour 5 or Tour 6, Tour 7, It takes about 8 chests a day. So if you play your pin chest and you can be a 66% player, you're looking at 6 out of 8. Somewhere in that neighborhood. That ain't bad. Okay, I'm going to add on 10%. That's going to be 3.5. There's 3.5. Go right at it. Hitting it perfect. Give myself a look. Come on. Come on, man. Let's have some magic happen. Let's roll. Come on. It's going to miss to the left. Way miss to the left. I missed so far to the left, I can't even believe it. Are you going home, Ann? Yeah. See if my opponent can get in the hole from there. That is the worst shot all week. I have no idea why that ended up so far to the left. See if my opponent can get in. See if they can get the hole in one that I missed. They hit it perfect. If they lined it up right, let's see if they can get in the cup. I'll come see her. Just missed on the left side. All right, with all the problems that I've had on hole 9 this week, maybe hole 9 has been saving it. And I can at least end up at the 31 and feel like I was a winner and I picked something up. I feel like I'm a winner just by shooting the minimum score for a 9-hole stretch. Jeez. The unfortunate thing is you can look at it and say, hey, hole number 1 is easy to get. Hole number 4 and hole number 7 should be treated as par 4s, and the minimum score should be minus 13. But the reality is that there's just way too many people picking up at least one on either side. So that puts you at minus 14. That's minus 28. I will forfeit. All right. That was hole number 17 of the touchdown tournament in the opening round of the rookie division. Thanks for watching. No, I'll be right back. All right. My mother-in-law was leaving the house. All right. That was hole number 17. We're on hole 18. And I'm in 12th place. I have no idea who's at the top, but I can guarantee you they're in minus 31 or better are the people who are dominating the top 5. So in order to get anything, I've got to get an Albie on this hole. But I am just excited just coming out and having a nice clean round and shooting the minimum score. Although I've given myself a lot of shots. On every single hole, I've given myself the perfect shot to go in, and I haven't been catching them perfect. And when I have, I've made bad adjustments. So I've just been off. But my mistake on this hole on the front is I decided I haven't been getting the distance out here, so I brought a sniper, and I was in the right spot, and I needed a guardian. I would have had a little bit more room on my red line, and I came close with the sniper, but I couldn't adjust out all of the wind. So I'm going to bring a guardian this time. I'm going to bring a power 5 ball. I bring a guardian. And a power 5 ball, and I think this is the low wind power 5 ball that I have. Off we roll. Open up that pin chest. Getting some more common cards in the bank. All right, I've been having problems with this hole. I had 3 times where I got birdies on it, and then the last time through, I had a serious look at Albie. So I want to stay on that track, stay out of trouble. The key is to hit the drive into the fairway and not the rough. The rough shot, I'm ending up on the rough on the right, and you can get up from there very easily. But what I'm doing is instead of what I would normally do is when you're in that situation, I wouldn't press the limits. I would just get on the green, get my eagle, and move on to the next hole. But I've been trying to press my luck and trying to go for the Albie and then hit another bad shot. And because I was being risky, I put myself in a really bad spot. My opponent's got a power 1 low wind ball, and that is not the side to go with that ball. There you go. If you can get all the way to the tip on this side, you have a straight in shot going in. But if you can't get all the way to the tip, you're in big, big trouble. But in one-on-one play, I only play to the right. Got it perfect. Oh, and they got it. Excellent. Nice shot. Crowd goes wild. They needed a little bit more distance. They may have a straight in shot. They may be able to maneuver those trees with a straight in shot. I wanted 2 rings of separation. I'm going to leave. I'm going to take the wind out. It's 3-5. There's 3. 3-5. And then I'm going to put a little bit of overpower in it. It's very tricky. The wind carries a little bit farther down in that hole than it looks. I'll put just enough overpower. It doesn't make the needle go any faster. Hitting it great to the right. That was barely a great. I thought that was perfect, actually. And the farther out you can get in that direction, the more you open up that rough in front of the green. And I think I have a really good guardian shot right here. I know you can put on some overpower in there and bring it around, especially if you take it to the left. Then you have more room because the fairway gets bigger on the left-hand side. It's longer on the left-hand side, and you can put curl on it and bring it around the bend, and you can get out there into your long iron range. I haven't had any success on this hole doing that this week. I've been totally every hole. That is a heartbreaker, being a little short like that. I'm doing a straight up adjustment. I am right in between clubs, and I don't have enough topspin in this club to get up there, I don't think. Nope. I'm going to go right at it. $2.5. It's 1.2 per ring. There's 2.4. Oh, I don't have enough room. I'm going to have to short shoot. I'm in the same boat I was in on the front. Hitting it perfect. And I hit it perfect on the front as well. And I missed it just that far off on the front as well. Ah! Both clubs, and I was in the wrong distance in both of them. And I didn't think I'd be in that range. I should have brought my Saturn as a secondary club, or committed to try and get further out there. See, that's the type of problems I've been having all week. I've just been off my game. But I finally got the minimum score, which is huge. Just coming in with the minimum score and going out there and putting a round together is an achievement this week. And I've been playing these holes since the game came out. Half the holes are relatively new, a year and a half old, and the rest of them have been out since the game came out. And it's just a crazy deal. Yeah, I got plenty of club with my Grizzly, but what I don't have is plenty of topspin. I might barely be able to get to it. I'm going against that. That'd be 2.2. That's 4.4. It's 2.6. 100% accurate club. There's 2.6. Hitting it perfect. And watch, I'll get a hole in one. That, my friends, is how this tournament's been going. So I ended the week a winner. Oh my gosh. That is my week encapsulated. As soon as the tournament's over, I hit a hole in one. At least it gives me hope. At least it lets me know that I can still play. I'm pretty sure I can play, but this week I have not shown it this week. All right, let's see where we ended up. I think that if I'm 5th, it'll be a miracle. And I am 4th, soon to be 5th. Now let's see what they have at the top. I'm pretty sure that's got to be a 32. 34. That's what I'm talking about right there. That was a round. That's an awesome round. Albion 3. Albion 6. Albion 6. That hole number 6 is the hole to Albi. I mean, that of the albatrossable holes on this, and all 3 of them have a serious Albi, and there's a serious Albi on hole number 1. But of all of them, hole number 6 is my personally my best shot, and I failed miserably. I don't think I hit a single shot perfect into that cup all week. Nice round. Best I could have did if I was trying to shoot for a minus 32 to give myself any shot. Best that would have been was 2nd. And we still have, I'm sure, a bunch of people that haven't played. So by the time this is done with the 31s and 32s that are up here, I may be able to eke out a top 10. Maybe. But it's going to be a really tight round coming up in here. We'll see how deep. I think it'll probably, these 27s are going to go probably down into the 30s and 40s. It'll be a very tight tournament once all the rest of these people start playing. So maybe I can keep a top 10 here, but I think that's about the best that I can do as a top 10. All right. That was the weekend round in the touchdown tournament in my odd account. And I've got my low level account to play, and I shot a minus 14 in the qualifying round, and I totally tanked the opener and shot a minus 23, and I have no idea. It was only because it's in Ricky did it make the weekend round. But that account does have a serious shot at being able to pick up the minus 30. And in Ricky, that's not necessarily a winning score. Ricky, there are 34s up at the top there as well, but it's banner worthy. So that's the only one I have left to play. And thanks for watching. Have a good tournament.